verse. They have taken crafty counsel. Now, when you look up the word crafty, the word crafty is irum, which means to be subtle, be shrewd, be crafty, beware, take crafty counsel, be prudent, to be crafty, be subtle, to be crafty, be or become shrewd. Now, a shrewd businessman is, you got to watch out for a shrewd businessman, because he'll make you a deal, and he'll make you believe that you're getting the best deal for the best price. But when you finally purchase the thing, whether it's a vehicle, a house, or whatever, you find out that they tricked you by way of contracts or by saying good things about this particular product, and then you find out afterward, and it's too late, that he tricked you. So, as soon as Esau said we have a vaccine, for the masses of the people, they put an emphasis on blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, which they mentioned the three categories of Israel, which represent all 12 tribes of Israel. So they're telling you who their focus is on. There's all of a sudden this devil is concerned about your safety now, because Jakes are just getting, Crown Royale 2020 all over the place. Every time you turn around, Jake getting the disease. I haven't met any Jake that got the disease or the virus. So it's obvious something subtle going on, and that's why we jumped on General Yohana, because he said go ahead and take it. And then he goes in to say how much the devil is there. We know why you don't want to take it. He's a devil, he's Satan, he's this, he's that, he's third, but take it anyway. Well, the first thing come in my mind, I said, this man is an insider. This man Esau made a deal with this guy. So what do we do here at GMS? We did videos against him saying that, man. And then what did he do? He came back stronger and said, no, you got to take this man's, vaccine, which is totally anti-scriptural. So now, let me go back, and I did a video the other day, actually yesterday, entitled Never Trust Thine Enemies, focusing on Ecclesiasticus 12 verse 10, and I've read the rest of the chapter. And the rest of the chapter, and I believe in the video I did read the whole rest of the chapter. You got to go back and watch it. But that's all the more reason why you shouldn't trust this man. Anytime this man gives you something for free, and he's just so concerned about you, I said, well, wait a minute, that's not the nature of the devil. So anyway, let's go back to Psalms 83. It says, the third verse, they have taken crafty counsel against thy people, which are the Israelites, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation. Meaning, if they had the power to kill every Israelite, to exterminate every Israelite, they would do it. So I'm taking that this vaccination will be a thing that eventually will kill you off. It says that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. In other words, you have all these different nations, but you go to look for a so-called Negro, you ain't gonna see him. A West Indian, you're not gonna see him. A Cherokee, you're not gonna see him. you ain't going to see them. A Seminole, you're not going to see them. A Puerto Rican, you're not going to see them. Because their plan is to do away with the whole nation. And they're not giving you this vaccination because they love you and they want to heal you, man. And plus, on top of that, they fast-track this thing, so they don't even know what's going to happen. Anyway, it says, 5th verse, for they have consulted together with one consent. They're all in agreement. They are confederate against thee. Against who? Against the Israelites. So it's not just Edomites that want you destroyed. It's all these other nations. So then it gives you a list of the nations. This is Psalms 83 verse 6, the tabernacle of Edom, which we know who they are. Esau had never did anything good for us, man. And the Ishmaelites are the various Arab nations. So when they have a General Assembly, UN General Assembly meeting, who gets invited? All those Ishmaelite Arab nations get invited. They come with the suits, sometimes they wear turbans. So any nation that's in that meeting, they're in lockstep with Esau. And all these nations know who you are. Moab, which are the so-called Chinese, and the Hagarenes, Gebal and Ammon and Amalek, the Philistines, which are Egyptians, with the inhabitants of Tyre. Ashur also is joined with them, with Edom. They have hope in the children of Lot. Do unto them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin at the brook of Kishon, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. So ultimately, Asaph wants these nations destroyed, jacked up. So it says, let me jump down. I'll jump down to the 13th verse. Because we always read Psalms 83, and we'll go to the first 4 or 5 verses. They don't say it's Edom and the other nations. But if you read to the very end, read down to the 18th verse, it tells you how they're going to be taken out. It says, who said, let us take to ourselves the house of the Most High in possession? Because they want that land. They want the Middle East. It says, oh my power, make them like a wheel as the stubble before the wind. Now when you look up the word stubble, let me finish reading. It says 14th verse. As the fire burneth a wood, and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire. Mountains represent government, the various governments. It says in Jeremiah, I believe that's either the 25th chapter or the 50th chapter, the 25th verse. Somebody can put in a comment board. I'm not going to go to it. It says that they're going to be like a burnt mountain. As a matter of fact, you know what I'm going to do? Let me go ahead and get it. This is the book of Jeremiah. Okay, it was Jeremiah 51 verse 25. It says, behold, I am against thee, O destroying mountain. The destroying mountain is Babylon the Great, saith Yahweh, which destroyeth all the earth, and I will stretch out mine hand upon thee, and Babylon the Great, a burnt mountain? Through the missiles, through the destruction. Let's go from there to Revelation.
That nuclear fire.
Revelation 18, which is one of my favorite chapters. And let's jump down to the key point is the 21st verse. I'll jump down to the 20th verse. Revelation 18 verse 20. It says, rejoice over her, thou heaven, and ye holy apostles and prophets. So who are the holy apostles and prophets? The ones of us that's on the highways and the byways that are doing these sit-downs, that are putting these videos out on YouTube and other platforms dealing with the destruction. Because the main thing you're supposed to be talking about is the downfall of this system. Because in our minds, we want the kingdom. So the kingdom will not come unless another kingdom has to go down. And that's always been done in history. You know, when you go to Daniel the 7th chapter, you had the first kingdom, which is the Babylonians, and the second kingdom in that prophecy is the Medo-Persian Empire, which didn't come into play unless they took down the kingdom before them. And then you had the Greeks, which took down the Medo-Persian Empire. And then Rome came after that. So when this man, you know, when our kingdom comes up, this system has to come down. It says, 20th verse again, rejoice over her, thou heaven, and ye holy apostles and prophets. So who are the holy apostles and the prophets? They have to be us. It's not talking about vocab alone. It's not talking about Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam. Right. It's not talking about these churches. It's talking about us men out there, not just GMS, but anybody that's sincerely pushing this truth. And the main thing you're supposed to be hitting on is this destruction. Right. It says, and prophets, for the Most High has avenged you on her. And a mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone and cast it into the sea, saying, thus with violence shall that great city, and any of you fools out there saying that Babylon the Great is a Vatican City, you're a damn jackass, man. And a lot of you don't even, you know, read these scriptures, you know, about Babylon and who Babylon is. Some of you do, but you got to tell them, Edomites come up, you got to tell them that this place is Babylon the Great, it's going to be destroyed, and our kingdom's coming up. And the Most High is only dealing with Israel. You know, Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. It said, thus with violence shall that great city Babylon, which is America, be thrown down, and shall be found no more at all. Let me go to one more. Now I was going to do a word search. I already did it, but I'm not even going to go into it. I'll probably do it on another video dealing with the word stubble. And I pulled out all those various precepts, and they're all talking about the same prophecy. Talking about Esau, talking about Babylon, talking about the future destruction.
No, fuck off.